no ring.
Don't shoot!
I guess that's not a headshot. Fucking name means the fucking wall again.
Enemy at the showers.
Reloading!
Oh my god.
HQ is free. Get a move on. Hard push. You got the hard push. Got a UAV on station. Ready for fire. Enemy on the HQ.
I like that.
Oh, is it?
Oh, what the fuck? What's up guys, it's your homie X here, and in today's video we are going to be talking about and showcasing the M4A1 Task Force Blueprint. Remember to show some love and hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the video. I am always working and striving to bring you guys the best content I can make. So here we have the Task Force Blueprint, and first things first, in order to get this blueprint you must purchase the Modern Warfare 2 campaign Remastered. Infinity Ward also gives us a bundle full of goodies for purchasing the game. The bundle comes with a new operator skin for Ghost, the Task Force Blueprint, 1-for-1 blueprint, weapon charm, a finishing move, calling card, and a Ghost emblem. The Task Force Blueprint comes with the flash guard muzzle, tack light barrel, forge tack, CQS stock, Ranger foregrip, and sleight of hand. Now, I made some changes to the blueprint because I wasn't a big fan of wasting 2 slots on the M4A1, which were sleight of hand and flash guard. I replaced those with, let me pull it out for you guys so you guys can see it. I replaced those 2 slots with monolithic suppressor and 50 round mags. Trust me, you'll thank me later. The stock 30 mags was definitely not enough against multiple enemies, and I ran out of ammo quickly, especially since we're using one of the shortest barrels for the M4A1. It takes a lot more bullets to kill someone. I also added the monolithic suppressor just because every time I would streak up, I was getting hunted constantly by people, sound whoring and everything. So I wanted to keep my damage range up as well to compensate for the smaller barrel, and I had to switch it all up. So for right now, we're just going to jump right back into the gameplay. What's going on, everybody? Hope everyone's doing good, staying safe, you know, with this whole quarantine thing going around. I miss human interaction, but I also don't. I've always been pretty much an introvert. Don't really care about all that business anyway. But yeah, hope everyone's doing good. You know, I'm just chilling at home, you know, working out, staying away from people. You know, only going out to the essential places, you know, and just focusing on this whole YouTube thing, man. That's all I've been focusing on. That's just been the whole big road, you know. In today's video, we're going to be going through the M4A1 Task Force Blueprint. I want to say I like the gun. I'm just not a big fan of how many bullets it really takes to kill somebody with it. Like, I'm a big fan of the, what's it called? The marksman barrel. That with the monolithic and no stock seem to be one of the best classes that I've come up with the M4A1. But don't worry, I'm going to be dropping more videos of like my own personal blueprints later on, so you guys can see what I'm actually running around with, so you guys can actually be using the blueprints I'm actually running around with. But for right now, I want to be doing the blueprints that comes with the game, because a lot of you guys are going to be purchasing these stuff, and then you guys are going to be using it. When you guys use it, I'm going to also notify you guys if I make any tweaks to it, because I also understand that, how can I say this? Not all the blueprints that Infinity Ward makes are great. You know, sometimes they're good for certain occasions, but a lot of these maps are big, man. And when they take away certain stuff, it makes it harder to kill people at longer distances. And I'm all for, you know, ADS speed and movement speed and stuff like that. But if I don't get the ADS or movement speed and I can't compensate that for power, you know, I have to have a little bit of perfect balance of all of them. I can't have no power but all ADS and movement, and I can't just have ADS and movement without power. You know, they come hand to hand. So you gotta find like this perfect balance. But my sole purpose when I'm making blueprints is to not only find a balance, but I strongly look for how fast I can aim it down the sight, Can I move around easy? And, you know, can I get enough bullets into somebody to perform the type of power that I needed and that I'm looking for? Because if I can't compensate for any of that, then I'm gonna have trouble with the gun because of my playstyle. So you always want to make your blueprints that go with your playstyle. If you know for a fact that you run a gun, you're most likely going to be looking for things that have quicker ADS and quicker movement. And if you're somebody that likes to chill back a little bit, if you're chilling back a lot, you're not going to be so worried about how much speed or movement and stuff like that, because you're most likely chilling back trying to get your kill streaks, whatever the case is. So you're going to be caring a little bit more about power, but I feel like it's always about the balance of it all. But for me, my main thing is usually ADS and movement. So if I'm focusing on ADS and movement, I also have to figure out how can I get my gun to be also a little bit powerful, because for some odd reason when you do that and you do ADS and movement, guess what you lose? You lose your recoil stabilization in the process as well as power. So you need to make sure you got enough power, stabilization, and all that jazz. It's just it's a lot to try to compensate for and figure out what's best. So with this class, I had to replace that monolithic that flash guard, because man, I feel like people were seeing me no matter what without the flash guard. People were hearing me, they didn't need to see the flash. You know, I feel like it wasn't even deemed worthy to use. So with the monolithic, I had extra damage range, and people didn't know where I was coming from. So when I was killing their teammates, they're searching around where they died from. I mean, how many times has that happened to you? It happens to me constantly. When I hear the suppressor, I'm like, but where the fuck is it coming from? And you look around, you can't find it. So I'm like, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that. I tried off with the lightweight first, and then the lightweight was just too weak. I was like, nah, it's still a little too much. But when I put that monolithic, it gave me that little oomph that I needed, so I'm stuck with that. And then I changed the rounds to 50 rounds. 30 rounds was not enough. 30 rounds got me to about 2.5 people to kill. I was able to kill about 2.5 people. By the time I got to the third person, I was running super low, or I got that third person, but that fourth person that decided to pop out murked me. Didn't even have that chance. So we're not doing that anymore, and we're just going to put that on, put the 50 round mags. I was like, nope, fuck that, not doing it anymore. And as soon as I put the 50 round mags, everything changed for me, dog. Everything. So I want to keep that in my class, and that's why I'm showing you guys this blueprint, because it's not that the blueprint is completely horrible, because what really makes this blueprint, I feel like, is the iron sights. The iron sights are amazing. I like them a lot better than the original M4 that Modern Warfare has for their iron sight. Like this iron sight is amazing, which is the main reason why I never changed the barrel. If I changed the barrel, I feel like it would completely and utterly change the whole blueprint itself. So we're not going to change the whole blueprint by doing that. I'm just going to change the suppressor with the 50 round mags and call it a day there. I'm not going to do all that extra stuff to change the barrel, because that'll ruin the whole blueprint. The whole point of the blueprint is it's close quarters, so that fast ADS stock it has with the iron sight. If I were to do anything else to it, it would completely ruin the blueprint, so we're not gonna go through that. But if you notice, this gun tears people apart. You just had to give it that extra oomph with the 50 round mags, and that's how you change up the whole game. So we're gonna keep it like that, because it shreds, dude. It shreds. So I want everyone to try this out. Try out the blueprint. You know, make those few tweaks if you want. I mean, you guys don't have to follow my exact blueprint. You know, do whatever you feel is good for you guys, because you know, everyone has their different playstyle. But mine is like, I run a gun majority of the time. I don't really hide. Although I do preserve certain spots of the map if I know that I'm doing good there and I can hold it off. But I don't particularly want to say I can per se. But I definitely want to say I hold down positions at certain parts of the map if I know that I'm taking full control over it or anything like that. Especially when I'm in a streak, when I'm streaking up. Like if I got 7 to 10 kills and I'm like, all right, I'm about to get my advance, I'm going for a nuke at that point. I gotta play a little more conservative. I can't just be rushing out and trying to literally die on purpose trying to do my thing. So I have to be aware of those things, and I'm like, nah, you know what, I'm gonna play a little less conservative, because if I just go out there, man, you know how many times I die from stupid shit all the time. So alright guys, so we're gonna let this be the end here, and thank you guys for showing love and supporting the video, guys. Peace.